Yeah,
That's
I mean,
mad.
let me explain. And
Oh,
you know,
we're gonna only hear from you. What is explanation? We want to know. Like a Lannister, Lannister must pay his debts. Spurs fan must pay their debts, bro. You ran your
Yeah.
mouth. You said
Well,
you're
first
talking
and
about
foremost,
under the same system. You came out with your chest. You came out with your chest saying you're going to win Champions League and Premier League, and you already knew what kind of football you're going to get from Conte because you saw it last season.
Yeah, of course.
Don't come out with the style of football because under this style of football and this manager, you're the one that predicted the Champions League win or Premier League.
I mean, so for me, first and foremost, let it be known that I predicted an Arsenal win live on this show this time last week because I could see the football from my team. But look, there's a lot of things going on. I can see Northside, I can see Brandon pumping their chest. So I explain. First and foremost, we got to accept that this is a freak season for Arsenal. The way that you, man, are working and doing things, you guys are performing week in, week out. We established last week that your team on paper is not better than any of the top six, but you guys happen to be performing. And we know that the reason for this performance is because you guys are having the best season that you've ever had in the Premier League because it's a freak season, similar to what Leicester City done. Tottenham, on the other hand, is having a crap season. We're having completely the opposite season to you, man. And the thing is, I wanted Spurs to lose. I wanted Spurs to lose because I want Conte out. This is what happens when you put weight on Mickey Mouse trophies. I've been saying it and I'll keep saying it. The reason why Tottenham is where they are is because we started listening to some of you fans, Northside, what a bad trophy, Brandon, what a bad trophy. And in that quest, decided to go and get trophy winners and to forsake our own football for Mickey Mouse trophies in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. But really, it's about finishing in a Champions League spot and going for the big prizes, the Premier League and Champions League. And we're paying the price and we're suffering. The truth of the matter is, Tottenham got Conte. We're not ready to spend the money that Conte needs to get the job done. And therefore, we need a different type of manager. But this thing here ain't working. And it ain't a surprise. The system don't work with the players that he's got. He wants new players. The club don't want to spend money because he's not prepared to sign a contract. They don't want to spend the money because he's not prepared to sign a contract because we don't want to buy players and then this guy darts off in the summer. So it's a catch-22. So right now, you're right. It's a mess. The board's a mess. The manager's a mess. The players are a mess. And guess what? Even the fans are a mess. However, despite all of this mess, that style of football suits Europe more than it suits the Premier League. And I told you here live and direct on the show that I don't give a damn if we don't finish in the top four anymore, provided we win the Champions League. Now, nobody can tell me anything about the Champions League. Deji, do you still believe that you can win the Champions League playing this dead football? Yes, of course I do. Because we're still in it, Taras. When we're not in it, then you can tell me something. But right now, we are in it. And I reckon that Conte, with his jammy self, could pull off a miracle in the Champions League and us bring it back. But as for the league goals, it's done. And it's already over. I don't want to hear from you, Northside or Brandon, sitting on the fence like Humpty Dumpty, sat on the wall and staying on the wall. I don't want to hear that crap. We know it's done, innit? You, man, have won the league. I told you from 11 games, 10 games, 11 games in, that I can see a Leicester City happening. And can I just say, you know, we are saying the right shit on this channel when Gary Neville is quoting me. Gary Neville quoted, man, when he made the reference to Leicester. But I've been saying that for months on this show.
Nah.
So it is what it is. No, I have been, Brandon. Don't try and rob
No.
me.
I'm not saying you ain't. I'm not saying you ain't. What I think Gary Neville, and to a certain degree yourself, is very disrespectful to say that this is a Leicester City. Because, yes, nobody saw it coming. But are you telling me that Arsenal can't maintain competing for the league for the next 3, 4, 5 years?
Brandon, you see how you, man...
We're building something, bro. You're crumbling.
You, man, and everyone in the chat
we're building.
are quick to say that I'm delusional. you know already that your squad is not a Premier League title winning squad. You know that. So therefore, it means that you, man, are having a freak season. It happens in football. Leicester done it in 2015. Arsenal's doing it in 2023. I don't believe... Look, I think what happens after this season, after you win the league, is that normal service is resumed. Normal service is resumed. You, man, are in the Champions League. You get slapped up in it, and you don't do jack in the Prem. That's what I think.
Okay, so you're saying right now, let me say this, yeah? You made your prediction knowing you wasn't happy with the style of play by Conte. You know that your board doesn't back your manager and give him the resources that is needed. You know that Conte will flip out if he's not given those resources, yeah? Yet you still made your prediction. Now, you want me and Brandon, yeah, to sit here, yeah, and you think I'm going to be a filo da puta, I'm going to be stupid enough, I'm going to be a stupido to say that we're going to win the league when I know that we have no adequate rotation in midfield. We have no adequate rotation for a striker. We have no rotation adequately for the wingers, yeah? And you're telling me, and we have no adequate right-back rotation either, apart from Ben White. Other than Ben White, there's nobody else as good as him on the right back position. Yet you want me to put my chest out and say that. This is why I said to you, do you want to take that statement back? Because when you can see that there's a lot of things at your club that need to be rectified and haven't been rectified, like Arsenal going up there, we're 17 days in the transfer window and we're yet to sign someone, and now we're playing scattergun approach for players that we're trying to panic and get. How can I come out with chest? At the end of the day, I'm not stupid enough, and I've been watching football long enough that a squad, a team wins the league, not just a starting 11. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to come up with my chest. The manager's doing very well.
Can I just...
With the players, I'm not going to come out with my chest, bro, because you knew that there was a high chance that Tottenham wouldn't back Conte. Yet you predicted Champions League winning or the Premier League.
Yeah, I just want to dissect. I just want to dissect a little bit, right? So
saying is, if you, man, can be top of the league, Tottenham can win Champions League. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Tottenham are necessarily going to do it under Conte. For me, I hope Tottenham get slapped up on Thursday so that we get rid of my man and bring in Pochettino. That's what I want to see right now. If we get Poch back in, I reckon it could be done.
But why is Poch your saviour? He never won nothing with you.
Bruv, what do you mean, bruv?
Why is he your saviour, bro? Well, acting like you won things under Poch left and you want him back because he's going to bring back the glory.
That's like going back. That's like going back with an ex-missus who's been. Do you know
No,
what I mean?
it's not.
Yeah, but
No,
it
you know
is.
what it
It
is?
is,
Let me
bro.
tell you what it is, bro. Sometimes with the ex-missus, you know,
Mhm.
I used to say to my bedrooms, look, if you love someone, yeah, don't play games in it. When it comes to love, there's no need to play games. Just say, look, you're the person that I love. But all this, I'm gonna wait for you to call me, all of that crap. The truth of the matter is, Spurs made a mistake in getting rid of Poch. We were second. We were in the top 3. We were regular Champions League in that competition. We were competing. People were fearing us. Part of the reason why we were able to build our stadium, we became more global. That's a bloody
quick question.
That's why we got Mourinho and Conte.
I want to ask a quick question. But let's just say you get your wish, yeah? Let's just say, because you're Mystic Dead, yeah? You get your wish, yeah? You get Poch back.
Yeah.
You still got the same owners. And what was the problem that happened when you had Poch? Your owners weren't spending money. So you may bring Poch back. What I'm trying to ask you is, you may get your wish, Poch comes back. If your owners don't change, and they haven't changed, let's be real, since Poch got away, they still haven't changed. Yeah, certain managers have been backed a little bit more than Poch, but they still haven't been backed the way they should be backed. Managers like Mourinho, managers like Conte, where they don't want Spence and players like that. They need proven world-class players, yeah, so that they can actually win something. The problem at your club is your ownership. It is your ownership. So whether Poch comes back, yeah, the football will improve. Yeah, you'll get the best. He'll probably get you play a sexier style of football, and you'll get more out of individuals. But what's the underlying thing with Tottenham? The ownership doesn't want to actually go out there and spend the money to actually compete. So for me, that is like a small man thing. If I was the owner of Tottenham, I'd give you Poch, because a lot of you would shut up, and it would be PR. You lot will shut up. You lot think something's changing. Like you thought something was changing under something was changing under Conte, and then not back him. No, and then the manager, and then when things go sideways, get rid of him, get another man in.
Right.
But at the same time, right? This is
go for the ownership. It's
at
the ownership.
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, right? This is where I do agree with Dej, right? And he is on the right lines, right? He knows that bringing in a Mourinho, bringing in a Conte was a big mistake because they didn't back him, right? Big mistake. And Pochettino can work with limited funds, right? He can improve players, this, that, and the other. The reason why I think you appointing Pochettino again would be a big mistake is because he's been there already. I mean, he knows how to work with the owners and he knows how to work with limited funds. But there's going to be a hell of a lot of pressure on his shoulders because all the media and everybody else is going to say is, what did he win when he was here before? Nothing. And then the moment that you start having a couple of bad seasons, because it will happen, transitional period and all that, right? Because he's going to need, let's be honest, right? Some of these 30-year-old man that fucking Conte's brought in, and some of these players that are not good enough, Pochettino or any other manager that you get is going to need the time to get rid of all these deadwood players and bring in what they want, right? So you're going to have a couple of seasons. You're going to have a couple of seasons where, it's going to be a transitional period. But because Conte's already been at Tottenham, you're going to have that extra pressure as well of people saying, well, what does he want? Why is he back here again? And that not from your fans necessarily, but from other clubs as well. And while other clubs are progressing, like Arsenal, like Manchester United are right now, you got Manchester City, no doubt Liverpool come back at some point as well. Right? Healthy. Hang on, Dej. Right. My point is why don't Tottenham try and look for somebody up and coming, somebody different? Do you know what I mean? Like for example, right? Brighton have just got rid of Potter. Potter has gone to Chelsea, and they've got this De Zerbi guy. Nobody had ever heard of him before. He's come into Brighton. He's taken over Brighton. They're still playing sexy football. They're still beating all the big teams. They're still doing everything, and he's a young and up and coming man. I just think you should maybe go down that route rather than going back to an ex-manager.
I hear what you're saying, but you got to also remember that under Poch, he wasn't supported for 18 months because we're talking like he was given the same sort of support and resources that Mourinho and Conte were given. The truth is, we didn't support Pochettino.
Yeah, but bro, Dej, hear me out. Hear me out.
I hear what you're saying, bro.
Dej, hear me out, right? That's like us saying now, right? That's like me and Northside now saying, well, now that Arsenal are finally spending, let's get Arsene Wenger back.
No, it's different, bro.
It is.
And let me explain because
no, it is though, bro. Because Arsene Wenger didn't get back for Arsene Wenger didn't get back for 8 years.
You don't want Pochettino to come back to my club because you're scared of it, bro.
No, Dej. Arsene Wenger didn't get back for a good 8 years, right? We was going into Champions League with players like Andre Santos and all these dead players.
Why
do you know what I mean?
Why would you want to get Arsene Wenger back when it's going well with Arteta?
But the point is if it wasn't going well with Arteta, right? If it wasn't going well with Arteta, which it wasn't at the beginning, right? Us fans could clearly see that the club is spending more money than what they've ever spent under previous regimes, under Emery, under Arsene Wenger, consistently, season in, season out. That would be like us turning around going, well, it's not working with Arteta, but now that we're spending money, we might as well get our most successful manager back in Arsene Wenger. It makes no sense, bro. Move on.
The only thing I will say to you is that when Poch left Tottenham, he left with unfinished business. And so he left a door open, a space for a potential return back. Now, I don't see it as a negative because Tottenham played their best football. He put Tottenham on the map by what he did. And let me explain to you, bro, because I need you to see this emphasis. It's people like you that give football a poor name, and you make me sick because when the Tottenham faithful listen to Brandon, I don't know why they're listening to Brandon or Northside. That's when we get our knickers in a twist and we get it all wrong. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and I want you both to answer legitimately. Those of you in the chat, please answer